Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's stream. We do have two other
Colin.
guests that will be joining us momentarily. They're going to be running a little late, but for now, we have Chris and Ace. So, Chris, if you want to plug your social medias real quick, go for it.
Yep. Bacon Chris, Instagram, same name as Instagram, same name as TikTok, and YouTube.
And Ace?
From Facebook, Ace Cough, like the roller coaster cough.
Right. So, in today's stream, we're mainly going to be discussing Great Adventure and Hersheypark's sort of opening days, opening weeks. Obviously, Great Adventure has been open 2 weeks longer than Hersheypark has, but I know Ace and myself, we were both at both Great Adventure's opening day and Hersheypark's opening day. I know, Chris, you visited Great Adventure the day after they opened on St. Patrick's Day, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, and with Johnny Honda.
Right. And you didn't go to Hersheypark yet, right?
No, I didn't.
And when Sammy gets here, he also went to both Hersheypark and Great Adventure opening days, and Jack went to Great Adventure's opening day. And we do have something else that we're going to discuss once they come in a little later on, and it's kind of related to April Fool's Day. Personally, I think April Fool's Day is really annoying, so I decided not to make an April Fool's Day video this year, but we're still going to do something for April Fool's on the stream here tonight. So if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask for the stream, leave them in the chat, and we will get to them after we finish up our whole discussion. I don't want to go too far into discussions until we get Sammy and Jack here. So I am going to first start off by talking about Hershey opening day. I want to hear Ace's sort of thoughts on it since Ace was there with me. So let me just type this out real quick. There we go. So Ace, how was Hersheypark opening day?
Hersheypark opening day was nothing short of exhilarating and energy filled. And the main reason that why obviously everybody went to opening day was the Sky Rush new restraints and the surprise Sky Rush special effects that we had. And then of course, obviously, Wildcats, we've been being the best coaster was great, the Great Bear, everything, of course. And it was so great, we didn't even mind missing out on Candemonium, including myself, because Candemonium has been there for it's the 5th year, so 4 years already. So yeah, great day.
It was a great day.
I'm sorry. One more thing. The food was great too. The greatest brisket. Yeah.
So the vlog from that day will be coming out tomorrow, probably at 4 o'clock Eastern. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, Hershey opening day was really great. It definitely felt like the park never closed with how well run the park was. Of course, it was super crowded, but we were able to kind of get past that and remedy that and get on a bunch of rides, thankfully. Sky Rush really is a major improvement. I mean, I will admit it's maybe a little less intense than it used to be. I can understand why people are saying that. We also still have to wait until it warms up, and of course, as we get into the summer months. But a lot of people are complaining that the laterals aren't as pronounced on Sky Rush anymore, which, quite honestly, as long as you just lean forward a little bit, you're still going to get those crazy lateral sensations you used to get. The park itself looks great. There's been a lot of little improvements here and there, like repaints, new signage. It really goes a long way. So Hershey is really looking great this year, and that's not even to mention Comet. Comet looks great. I did not get to ride it on opening day, but the new trains look really nice. So I'm not sure how that actually affects the ride, so I'll have to wait and see when I get on that. I am going to go switch over to Great Adventure opening day. Chris, I'm going to go to you first. You didn't go on opening day, but you went opening weekend, the day after opening day. How was Great Adventure?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, Great Adventure was pretty much not great. There was like one train operations, and I got on Medusa 4 times when it first opened. 3 times by myself and once with Johnny. And then El Toro was short. Nitro had the longest wait. That was the worst ride that I've been on. That I waited for because of one train ups.
And just in time, Sammy is now joining us. Welcome to the stream, Sammy.
Hello, Sammy.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Sammy?
So now that Sammy's here, we're actually going to revert back to Hersheypark opening day because the vlog is not released yet, so Sammy's thoughts haven't been shared yet. Sammy, how was Hersheypark opening day?
I was very pleasantly surprised by how well it was run. Obviously, there's a couple kinks in the beginning, running to Sky Rush, but as intended on an opening day when there's I'm going to call it a brand new ride here. But otherwise, though, it was very smooth. All the rides were open, at least running 2 trains, which is really cool. So there was constant throughput, even though the lines were long. Overall, though, it was really well, and I'm very impressed with Hershey.
Definitely. So now I'm going to switch back over to Great Adventure opening day. Sammy, you didn't go to, well, actually, I don't think you have visited the park as a guest yet this year, have you?
No, I have not.
All right, so we won't ask you your thoughts because obviously you don't really have any. But yeah, Great Adventure, obviously, this is the earliest they ever opened. The last time we did a stream was actually right before opening day. It was the weekend before. So Great Adventure has definitely improved as the weeks have gone by, as is usually the case. The 16th and 17th, those were kind of soft opening days. It was great to see El Toro open, though. That was a pleasant surprise. But at this point now, they are still running 1 train on most coasters, which I imagine will wind up being fixed pretty soon. But you can still get on all your favorite coasters relatively easily. Kaz on 2 trains now. Safari's open. Pretty much all that's left closed is Green Lantern, Mine Train, and Skull Mountain, and then, of course, the seasonal stuff as well. But I think Great Adventure's sort of opening season has been very successful. Unfortunately, they're getting kind of screwed over this week with the weather. It's been rainy day after rainy day nonstop. They closed today. They closed on Thursday. I imagine they're probably going to close tomorrow and the day after, just looking at the forecast. But yeah, Great Adventure's opening season has been great. And I put out a poll on my community tab not that long ago to see how many of you guys have been to the park for this season so far. And I was pretty surprised by the results. So out of 600 voters, 67% have not gone yet, 21% have gone once, and 12% have been multiple times. So hopefully you guys can get a chance to visit Great Adventure for the 2024 season early on. And same goes for Hersheypark. I didn't put out a poll for that yet since Hershey just opened, but hopefully you guys get out to Hershey as well. And of course, we have everything going on with Dorney Park really soon. Iron Menace Media Day is on the 17th, and then the first time the public is able to ride it is on the 19th, which is the Eagles Autism Fundraiser Day. So that's when you can purchase a package to go ride Iron Menace and a few other rides, and all the profits benefit charity, the Eagles Autism Fund, which is great. Then I believe the week after that, kind of last week of April, first week of May, you have previews for Iron Menace, so you're able to check it out a little early. And then, of course, it officially opens on May 10th. So lots of exciting stuff to look forward to in the northeastern region for theme parks and amusement parks. Lots of really great stuff going on. And like I said earlier, we would have a bit of an April Fool's segment on the stream, and I think it's about time we get to that now. So one of the most important aspects of visiting a theme park is the fact that you're going to have to go to the bathroom. You can't go through an entire day at a theme park without going to the bathroom. And it's important that those bathroom experiences are pleasant. So, of course, with my home park being Great Adventure, I've definitely formed my opinions on which bathrooms I do go to and which bathrooms I avoid. I'm sure we all have at this point since we're pretty avid visitors to the park. So we are going to be ranking the bathrooms that are currently at Great Adventure. Now, the way we're going to do this is we're going to kind of go through each bathroom in the park, as stupid as it sounds, and kind of give brief thoughts on them. And then at the end, we're going to rank them. So by my count, there are currently 17 bathrooms at the park that are available for the public, 2 of which are in the catering area, so they kind of don't count. There's the northern ones and the southern ones in the catering area. So there's a total of 15 in the park itself. So I'm going to first just read through all the ones that there are, and then we're going to get into our rankings. So we have the bathrooms by the tents, the Plaza del Carnaval bathrooms, the bathrooms by Mine Train, the bathrooms in Movie Town, the bathrooms by Jersey Devil, the bathrooms by Joker, the bathrooms by Skyway, the Yum Yum bathrooms, the bathrooms next to Flash, the bathrooms inside Granny's, the bathrooms on Main Street, the bathrooms outside of Main Street, just outside the park exit, the Metropolis bathrooms, the Golden Kingdom bathrooms, and the bathrooms next to Superman. So, Ace, have you had time to think about which bathrooms are your favorite bathrooms at the park?
Wait, are we counting the
yes,
catering
sir.
ones or no?
We are not considering the catering ones
Okay.
because we haven't had
Oh,
enough experience.
perfect.
with
Okay.
It's irrelevant to me. So if you're talking about my favorite bathroom or my least favorite?
Well, why don't you go for your favorite and then your least favorite?
Favorite bathrooms. My favorite bathroom, obviously, is the clean bathroom. That would be the Golden Kingdom, of course. Yeah, the Golden Kingdom one seemed like it's newer compared to the other ones, and cleaner. Yeah, the Golden Kingdom bathrooms.
And what about your least favorite then?
Least favorite bathroom would be kind of Grant. Oh, you said Granny's doesn't count, right?
No, Granny's does count.
Oh, yeah, Granny's undoubtedly. It seems like it's always like dirty and it's ugh. I
Really?
just hate going in there. It seems like it seems like it's smaller and I'm claustrophobic inside of it.
Okay, it's understandable. Chris, do you have any thoughts on your favorite and least favorite bathrooms at Great Adventure?
Well, I would just say, trying to think of what my favorite, probably outside the entrance because there's always a fan, and it's always like, I feel the floor slippery, and then my least favorite will be Frontier Town because it always has like mold and crust on there. Haven't been in every single bathroom, and the bathrooms over by Flash never get enough water.
Okay. Sammy, what about you?
I think my least favorite are the ones on Main Street, like the ones inside the park on Main Street, just because everyone is always at those. It's always so busy. So it tends to get dirtier, like easier. So I would say, yeah, those are my least favorite. I think my favorite though are Yum Yums because they're kind of hidden and nobody else really knows about them. So it kind of feels like a little cool, like secret room.
Okay, fair enough. So I have taken it upon myself on this little notes document here to rank all 15 from worst to best. So I'm going to go through my rankings now. So at number 15, the worst bathrooms in the park, I have as the tents bathrooms. Those are the bathrooms that are right next to the entrance to Bugs Bunny National Park. In my opinion, they're just kind of a pain to use. They're really tight. Like there's not much room when you're entering and exiting. And I feel like they're just a little dated now. And another thing that I kind of take into account is size and space in the bathroom. If you're kind of like crammed in the bathroom, that's definitely going to knock it down a few points. Whereas if you have more space and everything's kind of distanced apart a little bit, that'll definitely help it. These bathrooms, they cram a lot in and you don't have much space. So that is why they are my least favorite bathrooms. Then the next worst bathrooms I have as the Plaza del Carnaval or El Toro bathrooms. And the reason I have these so low is because they're always really crowded and they're really, really small. For the men's bathroom, at least, I think there's only 3 urinals and 2 stalls. They're super small for such a popular area of the park, so they're constantly pretty crowded. And like I said, if it's not a very big space and they're trying to cram things in there, I'm not really going to like them that much. That is why that has that ranking. Next up, we have the bathrooms next to Mine Train. Pretty much the same reason as El Toro's bathrooms. They're a little bit bigger, but still not really my favorites. They're kind of crammed. They don't really have much room. I mean, the sinks are pretty spread apart, but in terms of like the actual, I guess, urinal space and everything, kind of tight over there. So not my favorites. Next up, we have the Movie Town or Gotham City bathrooms. And these ones kind of blend together the same with the Mine Train bathrooms. They're very similar inside. Pretty much same reasoning there. Next up, this is probably going to be a little unpopular. I know if Tom was here, he'd throw a fit. I have the Pine Barrens or Jersey Devil bathrooms at number 11. And the reason I have these so low is because they used to be great before Jersey Devil was built because there used to be absolutely nobody at them when they were in the back of Looney Tunes Seaport. But now that Jersey Devil's there, they're typically pretty crowded. You're usually going to find people in there. And they're not as modernized as some of the other bathrooms you'll see higher up on the list. They don't have like dividers between the urinals or anything. So it just makes them kind of uncomfortable to use for me personally.
And they used to have the showers.
They used to have the shower, so now it's just like a big empty area on the right that just has nothing. It's kind of odd. But next up at number 10, I guess I'm calling these the Villains bathrooms. These are the ones kind of by Joker and the Villains Cafe up by Johnny Rockets to a point. They're all right. They get the job done. Not particularly special. Same can be said for number 9, which are the Lakefront bathrooms. They're the ones over by Skyway. They feel almost identical to the ones by the Villains, just in a different spot. Next up at number 8, we have the Yum Yum bathrooms. And the reason I have this one so much lower than the other ones is because they're super tiny, which works to a point because most people don't know they exist. But when people do know they exist, if you're not the only person in those bathrooms, they're incredibly uncomfortable. So that is why I have them where they are. But they are pretty secluded, which is nice. Number 7, we have the flash bathrooms or adventure alley bathrooms, whatever you want to call them. They're the ones that were redone most recently with the family restroom attachment. That definitely helped, but the main bathroom portion hasn't changed. I put them here, though, because I use them pretty frequently because of where they are. They're in a pretty good central location in the park, so that's why I have them there. Next up at number 6, we have Granny's bathrooms, and the reason I have this so high is because most people kind of forget that they're there, and you can usually go in there without anybody in there, and they're really clean and really well done. I forgot how nice and clean they are until I went in them fairly recently, so that's why those are there. Then at number 5, we have the Main Street bathrooms, which are the ones right inside the park, directly to your right at the entrance. And I know Sammy said that they can get crowded and dirty easily, but if you go to them at any time of the day that's not immediately like around the same time when the park closes, you're pretty much fine because they're not always going to be super highly used. Usually people will just wait until a little longer when they get in the park to go to the bathroom, but these ones are pretty spacious. They have a lot of room, and they're in a really good spot. Next up at number 4, we have the Superman bathrooms or the boardwalk bathrooms. These ones are so high because they have a lot of space in them. There's a lot of capacity, so you're not really going to be waiting in line to use the bathroom there. And they also have a really confusing layout. If you've used them, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and kind of makes it fun every time you go in there because it's like a maze. You can get lost in there. But at number 3, we have the exit bathrooms. These are the bathrooms right outside the park, right next to the, I guess it's the Lost and Found building over there. And these ones have a lot of capacity, and they're pretty well spaced out as well, so very comfortable to use. Now at number 2, we have the Golden Kingdom bathrooms. These bathrooms are really well spaced out. They have a very good layout, and they're in a really good spot too. They're kind of in the middle of the boardwalk and King Ka, so you're typically going to wind up using it on your way to King Ka or your way back. And they're just always very clean bathrooms. And of course, number 1, I'm pretty sure everyone saw this one coming, are Metropolis Water and Power, the bathrooms next to Justice League and Cyborg. These ones were redone the most recently, at least most thoroughly redone, and they are just a joy to use. They're the most clean bathrooms. They have the most space, easily the best bathrooms in the park. But I hope you guys enjoyed my personal ranking of the Great Adventure bathrooms. Had to do something for April Fool's Day, so I figured I might as well do it a little unique. So that's that. Do you guys agree or disagree with my rankings there?
I would
You know,
wish I
agree.
could
Go
tell
ahead.
you. No, I was just gonna say I wish I could tell you. I haven't gone that far in depth, Colin.
I was thinking about this all day.
See, you got me beat because I kind of have a buyer remorse right now. King Ka, yes, would be number 2 if I would have remembered the Justice League Cyborg bathrooms. You are absolutely right. I concur with you. I like that bathroom too, but I stick with my worst bathroom with the claustrophobic Granny's bathroom. But wow, I forgot about the actually newest bathroom. Correct? Isn't that one of the newer bathrooms because it's been renovated? You said.
The one in Metropolis?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were renovated in 2017.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. And as Starlet said it well in the chat, 5 minutes about bathrooms rankings. That's what I subbed for. Hey, it looks like everyone was pretty invested in the conversation there. I didn't see anyone drop off. So.
I'll be right back. I'm just getting more water.
All right, no problem, Chris. So happy April Fool's Day. I don't like to do stupid jokes that aren't even funny, but I think that was fairly appropriate. So now we're going to get ready to go into the chat, but I do want to do a little bit of a status update on Flash because, of course, Flash construction is moving along. So I'm not going to ask Sammy, but I'm going to ask Ace. Ace, when do you think Flash will be open?
4th of July weekend by July 4th.
So when do you think we'll see it go vertical?
Sometime this month. Probably by the middle of the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Personally, I think because pretty much you can see it from Nitro. It looks like just about every piece of track or supports are there. I even saw transfer track pieces while I was riding Nitro, so pretty much everything is there. So from what I understand, they just have a couple more footers to pour, And once those are done, they will start going vertical. They could probably start going vertical on the footers that are already done anyways. So I'm pretty sure the only footers that aren't currently done are around the station area. Once those are done, all the footers are done and they can officially go vertical. I imagine they will go vertical. Today's April 1st. I'd say within 2 weeks. I think that'd be a pretty safe guess. From there, I don't think it'll take very long for them to construct the coaster. It's not a very big layout, and we saw how fast Vekoma's other boomerangs went up. I know they're smaller in scale, but the family boomerangs at Kings Island and Holiday World went up in, I think, 3 weeks max. They were really quick constructions. So Safe Flash takes about a month to go all the way up. That'll put us in around the middle of May. From there, they can start testing, and I imagine they'll have soft openings towards the end of June, middle June, something like that. I think the ride will definitely be open by 4th of July. I think that's my best guess currently. I know the park definitely intends to have it all done by 4th of July weekend, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So, with that being said, actually, Bacon Chris, when do you think Flash will open?
So I would have to say like but you know they need some time with state inspection, testing, training, and you know with the landscaping, the queue, and the remodeling. You know, I mean it's good that they got most of the footers done and the track and the support pieces. They should go vertical. So you probably saw on my reel, my Instagram reel about Flash vertical velocity.
Yeah, definitely. So now we are going to go into the chat to take a look at all of your questions. So please continue to send your questions in the chat. I'm going to start here. What do you think Toro will be on 2 trains? I would say definitely by May. I think that's a pretty safe guess. I imagine at some point in April, it probably will be on 2 trains. The second train is sitting there right by the Rolling Thunder maintenance area. All the cars are sitting there. So I think it's probably just a matter of getting state inspection done, then they can have it on the tracks and ready to go. So next up, which European country is most likely for each of the 3 of you, well, I guess 4 of you, to ride roller coasters in? If I had to say which one I want to go to the most, I would say Germany. I think Germany has a lot of really unique looking attractions, and I'd love to get there one day. What about you, Bacon Chris?
I would probably say the UK because there's like B&M coasters, and you know I'm obsessed with Bolger and Malibard as my #1 favorite manufacturer. And there's cool parks like Chessington, and the #1 theme park I want to go to is Alton Towers.
I would say probably I'd agree with Colin with Germany, but France is a close second.
Ace?
I'm gonna go deep. I had this conversation with Park Visions this morning after hours-long talks. That would be obviously a new addition. I can't skip Spain, or obviously you what's that? Poland and Germany. So #1 would have to be Spain because of what they have. The 2 parks I want to go to, and then everything else is a close second and third.
Definitely agree with some of those. Colin, do you like Candemonium or Nitro more? Personally, I am more of a fan of Nitro. Personally. Do you think there's going to be a Great Adventure Anniversary Museum like Cedar Point and Fiesta, Texas, or should we just forget about it? They had one for, I want to say it was either the 40th or 45th anniversary. I think it was 40th. That was ran by Great Adventure History by Harry Applegate. May he rest in peace. But I do think it'd be nice to see one come for the 50th anniversary. But I think with everything they have going on, I don't know if that's going to be able to make it into the year because it's a really packed year as it is. And we now have Jack joining us. Welcome, Jack. Excuse me.
Hello.
Hey, Jack.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up, Jack?
Hey.
Let's see. Nitro over Skyrush Old. I'm sure Sammy has some opinions on that.
I do. You Am I supposed to start? Is that a?
I mean, if you want to share, go share.
Oh, Skyrush all the way. Skyrush old. Skyrush economy over Skyrush first class.
Having not ridden Skyrush first class or whatever they're calling it now, Skyrush original was still like in my top 2 or 3 coasters. So I don't know. I'd take it over pretty much anything.
What kind of renovation are you expecting for Skull Mountain once it reopens?
Oh,
I'd imagine that a good portion of the effects we used to see on the ride will be brought back. I don't know how many. I'd expect to see the outside facade of the ride repainted. I think it's definitely due for that too.
Sorry.
You're good. I do think it'd be really cool to see the lights in the eyes return, because there used to be like these effects in the eyes. Those have been gone for a while now, so it'd be cool to see those return. I just overall hope that the theming is enhanced inside. It's made pitch black again, but you still have some of the sound effects and visual effects. I think that would definitely go a long way in helping the attraction.
Yeah, I think that sound effect going down the drop, I hope it comes back.
Definitely. That way Ace doesn't have to reenact it every time.
It should be like disco, like.
I don't agree with the disco lights. If you rode Skull Mountain back in like the mid 2010s, early 2010s, you'll know that the theming used to be like really cool. It wasn't just like a bunch of lights in your face. It was all kind of timed up and synced really well.
It wasn't what you would expect from Skull Mountain, which made it better.
Exactly.
It was kind of like a cool surprise.
Yeah.
Exactly. Welcome, Jason. And welcome, Katie. What are your guys' thoughts of Flash's animation concept versus its concept art? I'm guessing you mean the new video versus the old art. The new video is obviously a huge improvement. The old art, you could tell it was put together pretty last minute, because at the end of the day, Flash was a last minute addition anyways. But I think the video looks great and really does a good job of showing everyone what it's going to look like in the park. And I'm really happy to see that it confirms that Flash is going to have lighting on the trains. I think that was one of the biggest things, along with the fact that the double-sided lockers are there. You can see the indoor queue from the video as well. So there's a lot of really cool stuff in that video.
Yeah, the way they decorate it looks really nice. And
oh yeah, definitely. Let's see. Let's see. Lots of comments on the bathroom rankings. Do you guys think El Toro will get RMC'd? No. Maybe 208 retract, depending on how they view what was done to T-Express. I could see them definitely take that into consideration. But in terms of a full RMC, no.
yeah, there's never going to be an RMC hybrid. Not even like, I mean, El Toro is too good to RMC.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's like I think its layout is very perfect as is. So if they were to do anything to it, I hope they just keep the layout exactly how it is.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Ace.
No, go ahead. Finish. Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, if they were to want to add an RMC hybrid, they could add another ride. Go ahead, Ace.
I tell you one thing. I've had this conversation with all of y'all. I could see them just retracking as much as possible, because that's been working, especially the last couple of years and this year with the smoothness.
They could put in another RMC next to it, call it L2 row.
That would be really stupid.
L2 row.
L2 row.
Is that your El Toro employee take, that they're adding L2 row?
L2 row.
L2
yes.
row.
Or they should have called it El Toro DOS.
El Toro Dos. Yes.
Yes.
Is there any way Great Adventure could improve the pathway between El Toro and King Ka? Give them some time. I imagine that they probably did that pretty close to when the park actually opened for the season. So we already saw them make an improvement. They repainted the fencing along that path to match the color scheme of Plaza del Carnaval, which already makes it look a lot better. I imagine that the saw facade is probably going to be removed or just changed. And I think they're definitely going to be working on planting some new trees around and just making the pathway look a lot better. So give them some time. I imagine there will be improvements made, but it's still very early on in the season. This is in reference to the bathrooms. The all-time best was the Scream Machine train shed. One corner had a pipe, and all the guys went number 1 in that. Thanks for the information, Brian. The best one now is the new ones across from Skyscraper. The family restroom aspect of them is definitely the best, but I still think Metropolis and Cos bathrooms are better. Can you rank water fountains next? I'll put that on the list for next year.
El Toro number 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite bathroom is by Justice League. The worst one is by Medusa and Mine Train. Yeah, I can understand that.
Agree.
Wait, Jack, you didn't rank your bathrooms.
Oh yeah, how would you rank your bathrooms?
I guess I don't know. I think my least favorite bathroom, I know that, is definitely the wait, now I'm blank. My favorite bathroom is personally the one by Jersey Devil because it's just always empty and it's like relatively clean. And then probably my least favorite bathroom is the park exit one, but the one on the inside the park side. I think the one outside the park exit is better. Yeah, I guess those are my thoughts on the bathrooms.
Thank you, Jack.
Very fair.
Yeah.
That was very appreciated.
What are everyone's thoughts of Skyrush's new trains and restraints? Sammy, why don't you start?
Yes, Skyrush, first class, not economy anymore. It was very good. It was really good. Don't get me wrong. I do prefer old Skyrush's restraints just because it was kind of more like lateral based, which I thought that was really fun. The airtime is still there. Don't get me wrong. I think new Skyrush is still awesome, especially the station. The station does not let down. There's lights on the roof going vroom, vroom. And then when it goes dun, dun, now boarding Skyrush. Like, that's really cool. Like that, like somebody took it to the next level for Skyrush first class. So kudos to Hersheypark for that.
What about you, Ace?
No more thigh crush. Very, very comfortable. I'm impressed. And happy for a great ride. Yes.
And if you want to hear my thoughts, you can go watch the video I made on it. It's 8 minutes long. You got plenty of listening to me over there on it.
I need to go on Skyrush soon.
I definitely recommend it. And I'll just kind of like give a brief summary of my thoughts on it. So it's obviously way more comfortable. And I think a lot of people are kind of overreacting to the lack of intensity that results. It's really the same amount of intensity. It just feels less intense because the intensity that you used to feel with the old restraints mainly came from the fact that your thighs were in so much agony by the time you got to, say, that final airtime hill that it felt stronger than it really was. And now that you're not in agony by the time you get there, it's not the strongest airtime moment in the world, which it's just because your thighs aren't in pain. I do agree, though, that the lateral moments aren't as pronounced because the seats are more bucketed. You have a more lateral bracing on the seat back, whereas old Skyrush was just flat. There was no lateral bracing at all. So the way you can remedy that I found is just lean forward and let yourself kind of flow free. And as long as you're in a wing seat, you're still going to go flying left and right, at least in my experiences. And I rode it 6 times, so I think I'm pretty fair to say that. But everyone's going to have a different opinion. I think overall it's a great change because it's going to make a lot more people enjoy the ride. It now has the best restraints probably of any coaster, tied with like Velocicoaster and Pantheon. So to see it go from some of the most painful to the most comfortable by far is a huge improvement in my opinion.
And I would say that if you want the most intense experience, back right now.
Back right wing seat, not back left.
Not back left anymore. Back right. That's the way to go.
I don't know why, but it's definitely back right.
Yeah, no, I do agree.
Yeah, I think they should just make the whole train floorless.
I wouldn't be totally against that, but I think that would kind of take away from the uniqueness of Skyrush.
Yeah, the wing seats are just such a crazy experience.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't ridden it with the new restraints, but I think the wing seats, like especially like the back row wing seats, were always just the place to be. So I hope it's at least slightly similar with the new ones, but I didn't have a problem with the old restraints.
I will say, though, it definitely feels like 2 very distinct experiences between old Skyrush and new Skyrush. There's definitely a very different feel about the ride.
Yeah, it's I was telling Colin when I got off, I was like, it almost feels like a different ride. Like it doesn't feel like it's Skyrush. It's still Skyrush, but Like I was referring to it as first class and Skyrush because it's different.
It is very different.
Or
No more ride the edge. It's first class now.
You could either say economy or first class, whatever you want to call it.
My favorite one is by Jersey Devil, and my least favorite one would probably be Yum Yum. Yeah, Yum Yums, as long as there's no one in there, they're great, but when there are people in there, they get very crowded. And Jersey Devils, I personally am not a huge fan of because they don't have any dividers between the urinals. It's kind of stuffed in there, and they get a lot more usage now that they're a part of the Pine Barrens instead of when they were part of Looney Tunes. They should remake Rolling Thunder as an RMC and call it Twisted Thunder. That's been a pipe dream of all of ours for years now, and unfortunately, I don't see it happening anymore.
Yeah, there's only a little bit of track, so that makes sense why it's not gonna RMC.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they would reuse that little bit of track. I'd imagine they'd probably construct it completely new and just kind of build around that.
I think they should just RMC that one piece. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, a little back and forth shuttle.
Yeah, just make it a little loop.
Yeah, definitely.
Put the tango train on it.
Yeah, RMC.
Do you think
Tango.
Flash is going to be unreliable for the first few years? No. I mean, New Vacoma has definitely proven itself to be very reliable and just well-built, high-quality attractions. I think the only thing is if you believe in paranormal stuff, for one, it's built on the site of the haunted castle pretty much, which is a little odd. And on top of that, literally right next door was Batman and Robin the Chiller, a ride that is scarily similar to Flash and had so many issues. So hopefully it's not cursed, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You should have kept Rolling Thunder because the queue for Zumanjaro looks abandoned and way too overgrown. Well, it's kind of a part of the theme. You're supposed to be kind of out in the middle of nowhere, walking out to this random ride in the middle of the woods, essentially.
That's a theme.
I think the only
I'd say so. It's the jungle.
I think the only thing that would make it better would be is if they had like bamboo and stuff on the right side of the queue, so it was like a fully just like enclosed path.
Well, Colin, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like I remember when they originally announced Zumanjaro, the idea was to have it kind of be like this immersive experience as you're walking through the queue with like animals and stuff.
I don't know about that.
I remember something about like baboons, something like that, as you're walking through the queue.
It's oddly specific.
Yeah, that was kind of all I remember. It was a long time ago. It was 10 years ago now.
And Rolling Thunder being removed was not because of Zumanjaro's queue. Rolling Thunder was removed because it literally could not operate anymore. It was pretty far gone at that point.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ace.
I was going to say that I've had this talk with you and your dad and a few of you guys too. The problem is this was all the accumulation of the lack of TLC starting in the 90s that I was able to notice with the rust and all of that. So, yeah, that was it in 2013 after like decades of neglect.
Definitely.
Maybe they can still build a new RMC like from scratch too.
They could, but I just don't really see them doing that personally.
Yeah. Maybe a gravity group for the little ones.
Next up, the fact that they're talking about the size of the bathroom is crazy. They're acting like they're going to do cartwheels in there. It's not about me doing cartwheels in the bathroom. It's about me not being right on top of someone else going to the bathroom. That's what I care about. That's why Justice League's bathrooms are my favorite, because they're very spaced out and nice. What are everyone's opinions on what could be next after Flash in the future for Great Adventure? Let's start with Jack.
Okay. I think next after Flash will probably be. Wait, are we going with like next new coaster or just anything?
Probably next new coaster.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be some sort of Giga coaster, and that's what I think.
Sammy?
Oh, some kind of coaster, hopefully. That'd be pretty cool.
Ace?
The Giga Coaster is really, really something I would crave. just based on your video that you released this week, the ultimate gift to go on top of Car and Toro. That'd be awesome.
Chris?
Yes. What's everyone's opinion? Oh, well, I think, after there's Flash, it will bring some crowds. I think it might be a walk-on, actually, because I predict they'll probably clone it at other parks, too. And they better not clone it, like, they better not have, like, the same exact Flash toaster and exact theming. Because it would be annoying, just like Batman the Ride, Joker, Superman Ultimate Flight, and then Six Flags Great America. Fun fact about Six Flags Great America. Did you know before they just installed DC Universe, they had Six Flags Great Adventure had every DC ride from Great Adventure. They literally did.
Wow. Well, what do you think, Chris? What coaster do you think could come to Great Adventure after Flash? Like if they were to add one in another year?
Well, they're probably gonna just add like a gravity group, or maybe they'll add.
I could see a gravity group like the one at Great Escape, maybe.
So like the Bobcat would be cool.
Bobcat.
Yeah, like Bobcat.
And it's the same as like Oscar's Wacky Taxi or Kentucky Flyer at Kentucky Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be a multi-launch coaster personally, but we'll have to wait and see. I think a coaster like Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood, I think that's probably what they could use the most is like a multi-launch family-friendly coaster. They have a good amount of thrill coasters. Of course, I still think there should be more, but they really do need a good quality family thrill coaster, and that would definitely fit the bill. What's worse, Hellcat or Wildcat at Lake Compounce? Wildcat. Though after this year, when they make the improvements they're making to it, it'll be Hellcat. Hopefully. Wildcat currently is probably my least favorite coaster of all time.
They're doing work on that as well.
Yeah, that's why I said currently. But after
this
year,
I thought you were saying at Hellcat they were doing work on.
No, I said Wildcat they're doing work on. I said after this year,
yeah,
Hellcat.
I thought you said Hellcat.
Yeah, no, I heard Hellcat, so I was like, oh.
Maybe I mixed them up.
Okay, but they're definitely not doing work on Hellcat, right?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they did.
I hope Wildcat is better because I like the layout.
I just want to buy that's for the credit and then forget it.
Credit and forget it.
Yeah, that's true.
Shoot, off-season update at Clementon. Clementon's not exactly that close to me, so I don't think that'll happen, unfortunately.
Chris, you live near Clementon, right?
Me? No, but I actually don't find Clementon to be a good park because one time I went on the water slides and there was like no lifeguard at top and I got hit by kids.
That's bad.
Yeah, but even at Dorney Park and other kids' water slides like Sesame Place, they have lifeguards on top that says, "Oh, okay, you're good," and then then when the kid gets off, then send the next one.
Yeah. Well, I guess they don't have those rules at Clementon Park. That's not good. They gotta increase that safety.
Yeah, they seem to not care, but
All right, well, moving on.
Yes.
Which park had the best April Fool's joke? There were a few good ones, actually. I'm trying to think.
I thought Universal's was really funny about
the one with I-4.
Yeah, like they were gonna add a fourth gate, and it was themed to I-4's traffic.
The one that got me was Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. For a second, I was like, "Oh," and then they were like, "Oh, 4 seconds to 24 hours." I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh my god."
It would have been really cool, honestly.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like anywhere from like 1 to 7 seconds. I'm like, that would be really cool.
You know what was interesting? This isn't theme park related, but there was a ski resort that posted an April Fool's joke, Mountain Creek in New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
They posted like that there was a new policy that was like no speakers, and everyone was just posting about how great that would be because people are Like, I mean, I go skiing a lot, and people just riding down the mountain with big speakers blasting random music, and like it's kind of annoying at times. So like everyone was complaining that it was an April Fool's joke because it would have been great if you couldn't have speakers.
I really liked the one Sesame Place posted where you could have a meet and greet with a rock. That kind of came out in.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it's just a picture of a Sesame character holding a rock, and it's like, this is our new meet and greet.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. That was good. And my personal favorite was the one Pleasure Beach posted, the even bigger big one, where they added a flag to the top of the lift hill of Big One to make it 1 foot taller than Hyperia. And they called out Thorpe Park and everything in the post. It was really, really funny.
Shout out though to Fiesta Texas. Theirs was funny too.
Oh yeah, their giant dome over the park.
That was also funny.
Yes, this one is really good.
It didn't get obviously it didn't get me, but
right.
That's why I really like Busch Gardens is because they actually got me for a second. I was like, no way.
And shout out to Six Flags corporate for the buy your own or build your own coaster. This was really good. Yeah. There's a lot of effort put into this one, so shout out to them.
I think the April Fool's joke was when they were King's Dominion was going to transfer Twisted Timbers, remove the steel, and then replace it with wooden track and call it Hurler again.
That's funny.
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
The thing I hate about April Fool's Day is that there typically is a lot of really stupid posts that aren't funny at all, that like think they're funny and they're really not. So that's why I really like it when the parks actually put effort into it and make something creative. That's like the ones we highlighted just now. Those ones really caught my eyes. Like, oh wow, they did a really good job. It's the subtle
ones. It's the subtle ones.
When they try too hard and they're like, oh, this coaster's closing. This park's getting a giga. It's not funny.
Yeah, no, it's not funny.
Well, it's exciting, actually.
Oh, also, this isn't a park, but America's Coaster Network, they put a top hat on top of the stairway going into Universal. What was it? Universal Hollywood. And they were like, "Wow, lots of new construction on the Fast and Furious coaster," and they even got a top hat over the over the ramp. And I was like, "That's funny." I was like, "They deserve one for that."
Yeah, that one was pretty good. Let's see. Fun Spot America Orlando had a pretty cruel. What was their April Fool's joke?
Did they do?
Was it the Raptor?
No, that was. I think someone else posted that.
That was not on April 1st.
That was I was gonna say that was before April 1st. Does anyone know what this is in reference? Oh, the CEO one. So they pranked John Airy Jr. and covered his office with like Post-its and stuff and put it on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Yeah, there you go. He was very surprised. Yeah, that one was pretty cool.
That is funny.
I think Six Flags should have done that with Salim. I think that would have gotten a kick out of everyone.
That would have been really funny as well.
Let's see. Out of all the roller coasters that have been built, which do you think covers the most gaps? I'm not sure what you mean. If you mean like gaps in a lineup, that's a really broad question. So I'm going to pass on that one for now. Do you think Six Flags is bringing back Mr. Six? So I think so. I think there's a pretty good case for it. For one, of course, we have the tons of teasers that have been posted to the various Six Flags social medias. They are definitely working with Venga Boys again because they've been using We Like to Party quite a bit lately in some of their promotional material. And this year, it's 2024, which is 20 years after Mr. Six was first introduced. So I'd be really surprised if he didn't come back. I think now is a really great time, too, because when they started teasing it on social media, everyone was going crazy. The engagement was really high on all those posts. People know that song and they know Mr. Six very well. So bringing him back would definitely be a really good move, in my opinion.
I think the one thing is looking at like the most recent post that's like this go all out DJ thing. It's like it says the secret is out. We like to party. And then it's just a new slogan, go all out.
Go all out, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's the end of the teaser. Like the teaser was just for this ad. It sort of makes me think that it's just for this new marketing campaign, go all out.
I feel like that would be really lame if that's what it all led up to.
I agree, and I really hope Mr. Six comes back. But I think
there's more to it.
I hope as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Colin, you saw I was brainstorming with your dad. I think you put a comment.
Oh,
in
I
the
know.
chat.
I had to listen to it for a good 3 hours.
There's a comment in the chat somewhere. We had some pretty good ideas. There it is. There it is.
You want to share any?
Let's see. What was one of I said? Ooh. I like the go all out emergency button and Mr. Six appears. That one was fun.
Mm.
Well, you gotta describe it to them. They don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So we were saying how if they have like a bunch of people like kind of like panicking and being like, "What's our next marketing campaign? What's our next marketing campaign?" And then all of a sudden they're like, "We have to hit the button," and then the big button says "Go all out." Boom, and then dun, 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 and then you have Mr. Six coming in with the bus or something like that. Or there was another one that we said. What did you say, Chris?
I said I remember the commercials where they had a hardworking family.
Yeah.
Time to play.
But there was another one that I showed Colin too. It was almost near perfect for what they could do. It was Mr. Six in Shady Oaks retirement home, and then it showed him getting ready. Yeah, it showed him getting ready, and then like he took out the bus from the shed and like went out. It was really cool.
Yeah,
something like that. It'd be perfect almost.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ideas, a lot of things they can do.
I wonder
hope
if they would bring.
do something cool.
I wonder if they would bring back the original actor who played Mr. Six.
I think it'd be hard to find him at this point, or at least hard to like get him to commit to it.
Yeah, I mean it's I'm looking on Six Flags wiki, and it's some guy named Danny Thiessen, and it says he's a British dancer and choreographer most well known for portraying Mr. Six in Six Flags commercials throughout the early to late 2000s, and now he's 48.
I don't know if a 48-year-old can bust those moves the way he did back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be very exciting to watch how Six Flags handles Mr. Six if they bring him back. And don't forget that in the latest interview of mine with Salim, we asked if Mr. Six was coming back, and he said never say never. So I guess he gave us a hint a while ago. Anyways, Hollywood, do you think Flash is only being on one train is going to affect it? So look at it this way. Flash's one train holds 24 riders, and the ride itself isn't super long, right? If it doesn't have a seatbelt, that'll make the restraints situation much quicker because all you're checking is the over the shoulder, and that's it. Though it might have seatbelts, so we don't know for sure. But Jersey Devil running 2 trains is essentially the equivalent of Flash, probably a little worse. So looking at it from that angle, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'm pretty sure Joker has lower capacity than Flash, and Joker's line can move pretty much fine usually. So I think it'll be all right. Of course, opening year, it's going to have a ton of traction to it. Everyone's going to be running to it, especially because it's right at the front of the park. But give it a couple years, and I doubt the capacity is really going to be a big issue. Sammy, you're part of the Project Prox construction, right? I saw you at the park and thought you were Hudson DiTomaso. My bad.
Yeah, I know Hudson. He's a pretty cool guy. He's also on the project, so you're good. No worries.
What would you name an RMC Rolling Thunder remake? Rolling Thunder, honestly. Might as well.
Or Iron Thunder.
I think they should just reuse Rolling Thunder. You might as well pay homage to it. Get people very excited about it.
That's what they did to the Wildcats. You know, before there was Wildcats Revenge. You know, there
exactly. So they might as well just reuse the name. When do you think Hershey will realize what's best for business in RMC Lightning Racer? Unfortunately, I don't think Lightning Racer is ever going to get RMC'd now that Wildcat exists. And I say unfortunately because I always thought Lightning Racer would be such a good RMC. I mean, that could very easily be Iron Gwazi sized, or it could be the Twisted Colossus of the East. But I don't think they're going to have 2 basically identical rides right next to each other like that. Though, to be fair, they did do that when they built Lightning Racer pretty much right next to Wildcat, because Lightning Racer was basically the same as Wildcat, just dueling and with a slightly different layout. So
yeah,
you never know. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think if anything, they'll put Titan Track on it and call it a day. Is visiting Great Adventure during September worth it? Absolutely. You got the start of Fright Fest in September, and operations should be great by then because everything will have been running for a while anyways, and everything should be open by then. Definitely Flash would be open by then. So I think September is probably a pretty good time to visit. It will get crowded for Fright Fest, though. Keep that in mind. When is the Cedar Fair Six Flags merger plan to go through? I'm pretty sure it's by Q3 of 2024. Colin, which new roller coaster do you think is going to be your favorite for 2024? Out of the ones I'm currently planning on riding, Flash. And out of the ones I'm currently planning on riding, I'll definitely be on Flash and Iron Menace. Those are 100% definitely happening. I imagine I'll probably be on Top Thrill 2 at some point this year. I wouldn't be surprised if I wind up getting on Phoenix Rising at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Other than that, what even is there? The
Top Thrill 2.
Penguin Trek at SeaWorld I'll probably get on. There's not really much else, honestly. I mean, there's the Family Boomerangs. There's Georgia Surfer, which I might be able to get on this year. We'll see. But I think it's probably going to be Flash. And I know you might not agree with me. You might think it's Great Adventure Home Park bias, but I would say Iron Menace, but I'm not a huge fan of dive coasters. I'm still excited, of course, because Dorney's getting a new coaster. And personally, I think Top Thrill 2 is probably a little on the overrated side. I don't think it's going to live up to Dragster. So we'll just have to wait and see. But as of right now, I'm going to say Flash. Any thoughts or updates on Falcon's flight at Six Flags Qiddiya? As far as I know, construction is still going. Hey, Colin, when are you going back to Great Adventure? My brother wants to go on El Toro with you. I'm not sure when I'm going back quite yet. All this weather has definitely complicated my visit schedule a little bit. I was planning on going today, and I was going to film the April Fool's video at the park going across each restroom, but unfortunately that couldn't happen, so I'm not sure yet. Have you ridden Ka in the rain? I was in the front row and got a rain ride on Saturday. It was painful but incredible. I have ridden King to Ka in the rain, and it is certainly an experience. How many bricks do you estimate will be on the path once it's done? Well, for the entire path to be filled with bricks, I'm pretty sure we calculated they need about 20,000, which I'd be really surprised if they're able to get 20,000. I'm pretty sure as of right now, they're probably sitting at around 2,000, judging off order numbers, which still could be an over or under estimate. I really do hope they're able to fill the entire pathway with customized bricks. And maybe if they're not able to get all of them, maybe they cut it like half price, then I'll buy a couple more, or other people buy more too, and slowly fill up the entire path. Because just seeing the one section done, it looks phenomenal, and I really cannot wait to see more sections filled in. Hey, Colin, are there specific steps I should try to take to get to Flash's media day, or do I just hope the park sees me? The park, they'll add you to their media list if they deem that your channel or your accounts are big enough and meaningful enough so that they'll get reasonable exposure from your coverage of the event. So that's why typically you're only going to see larger accounts and channels at media days. So it's not really a matter of if they see you or not. It really just depends on your size, and keep working at it. Eventually you will get big enough to be invited to the media days. Let's see. Candy's first half with Nitro's second half would be perfection. I strongly agree with that, actually. If Candemonium, after that like Outer Bank thing, just went into Nitro's finale, that would be great. With the Helix. I think the Helix should definitely be included. Falcon's flight at Six Flags Qiddiya will be a maintenance nightmare. I mean, not necessarily, unless they have issues with the climate there. It's just a bunch of LSMs, and they really don't have huge issues with LSMs. They've perfected the technology as time has gone on. Of course, there are issues, but I don't really think it'll be that big of an issue. Do you think Skyway will open this season? The sign is gone and it's boarded off. I don't think it's permanent, but I don't know if it will open this year. All I can say for sure is that the park is really working hard at getting it open. Brian Basica, the park president, does not want to give up on Skyway. He wants to do whatever he can to get it open, especially for the 50th anniversary, but it's proving to be very difficult. It's an extremely old attraction. I mean, it's even older than 50 years. It was from the New York World's Fair, if I'm not mistaken. It was made by Von Roll, and I'm pretty sure it's one of the only Von Roll sky rides left in operation. So maintenance is definitely tricky on it. Personally, I think it'd be great to see the company that did Disney Skyliner come in and kind of renovate
Doppelmayr.
Doppelmayr. I think that'd be really good for the longevity of the attraction, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't have a definite answer, unfortunately. How about Mako against those? I can guess you mean Nitro and Candemonium. I'd probably put Mako above both of them. It's a little closer between Mako and Nitro, but I do think Mako's first half is much stronger than Nitro, so I'd probably give Mako the edge. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Mako's awesome. Best B&M hyper.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not even a question. Mako, pretty good. Pretty good.
Let's see. Top 5 coasters from both Great Adventure and Hershey. Why don't we start with Ace? I'm curious what Ace's opinions are on this.
Top 5 coasters from both Great Adventure and Hershey. Oh, obviously, a lot of these are in my top 10. So that would be Wildcat's Revenge, El Toro. That would be, wow, that's a tough one. Nitro, Sky Rush, and then number 5 would be Storm Runner.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you, Jack?
I think number 1, Toro, then Sky Rush, then Ka. Oh wait, no, I forgot about Wildcat's Revenge.
I was gonna say.
I'd say Toro, Sky Rush, Wildcat's Revenge, Ka, Storm Runner.
I'm gonna go Toro, Sky Rush, Wildcat. Man, that's where the drop off is. Yeah, it's definitely where the drop off is. Probably Ka, and then Nitro.
Chris?
Oh, so I would say Medusa, Wildcat's Revenge, Sky Rush, El Toro, Green Lantern.
Well, there's 5.
I forgot Storm Runner existed for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
So mine would go Wildcat at 1, Toro at 2, Skyrush at 3, Devil at 4, and Ka at 5. Personally. Hey Colin, how's your ankle/foot feeling? Heard you injured it a while back. Yeah, I injured it, I think it was November. So I was in a wheelchair and having to use the ADA system for pretty much all of Holiday in the Park, which wasn't very fun. But now it has healed. I'm back to playing volleyball, which might not be the best idea, but we'll see what happens. I do have to just keep it in check, of course. There's a kind of a, how do I word it? My foot has like this rare deformity in the bone where there's like an extra piece attached. It's only like 10% of people have it. Of course, I got lucky enough to have it. So that bone in particular is at high risk for being fractured or broken again. So I will feel it every now and then, especially like after I did Hershey and then Great Adventure back to back. My foot was in a bit of pain. But otherwise, it's pretty much all healed.
I have one question for everyone.
What's that, Chris?
Speaking of feet, what size shoe do you guys wear?
I believe I'm a 10.5.
How about you, Jack?
I'm a size 12.
13.
I am a 10.5.
I'm a size 12.
Oh, well, I got the, well.
Got to share shoes.
Yeah, me and
Wow.
Chris can share shoes, I guess.
Everybody's close. 12 and 13. And you said you're 11, Colin?
10.5, 11, I tend to be.
And Jack, you said you're 12, right? And Sammy?
10.5.
Oh, the smallest foot.
Yeah, I bet Jack will go in my closet trying my Air Force Ones on.
I think it's in Jack's schedule for the week. He'll get to it.
Yeah, I'm actually very busy this week, so maybe next week.
All right, moving on. Should Great Adventure expand Dwellthon to be more like Roller Coaster Rodeo at Fiesta? I think that'd be great. I don't see that happening because
No.
there's so much going on. But I think a 2-3 day event where you stay overnight at Savannah Sunset maybe would be so cool to see in the future for Thriller-thon.
Yeah, that would be beneficial. That would be great because, obviously I got to travel 2 hours plus the Great Adventure with the traffic in New York and New Jersey. And that what better way to just have all your energy for all 3 days and, instead of spending all that energy on driving.
Definitely. What was the most frustrating credit to get for each of you? Let me start with Ace.
Only thing I can think of is the credit that the fuck is. You talking about the one?
This has to be a
that I
credit
got
that you
already.
did get eventually.
That would have to be. That's a tough one. Because I know I have some in the making. I know right now the most frustrating one right now that I haven't gotten has been Flash Vertical Velocity and DK Discovery Kingdom. It seems like
That was my first ride there actually when I went there.
that's insane. It's always closed when I go there. The 2 visits I've had, it's been closed. Let's see, one that's always been closed. Like every time I'm usually like able to get my credit like on the first chance.
Well, then we'll come back to you, Ace. What about you, Sammy?
Yeah.
I also tend to have pretty good luck with roller coasters. I think the one that doesn't like me too much was Kumba the first time I went around. Yeah, he was closed for a bit. Other than that, I've never really had bad luck with coasters. Remember opening year of Cyborg? It took me 4 or 5 tries to try to get on that thing. Yeah.
Jack?
In terms of coaster, I have not gotten to ride yet. I've visited Knott's Berry Farm on 3 separate years and have not been there when Accelerator has been open, which has been frustrating. And I know Colin shared the same frustrations.
Yep.
And then in terms of coaster I have ridden, I got Pterodon flyers at Islands of Adventure like a year ago or less, but I've gone there for like 10 years and have not gotten it until then.
Chris?
I would say the most frustrating coaster credit that I was trying to get is Kumba and Scorpion at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Because last time I was there, they closed for the whole day. And I'm like, come on, I just want to get the credit. And then when I saw them testing Kumba, when it was Fun Lightning, it was still closed. And I said, no, Kumba.
Okay. Here we go.
Right.
Well, this one's gonna be a little tricky, but this is the closest one I can think of. When I first got to Silver Dollar City, it had to be Outlaw Run because I got every other credit, and I was wasting time. I wasted like an hour waiting for them, and then the staff finally acquiesced and told me, "Listen, don't tell anybody. We're about to start testing." And yeah, I almost lost that credit, but I did manage to get after waiting 2 hours for it in 2018 for Silver Dollar City's Outlaw Run.
Wow.
Yep.
So for me, both one I have ridden and one I haven't ridden, both are boomerangs. The one that I have ridden is Sea Serpent at Maury's. I've been going to Maury's for a very long time, almost 10 years. And the first time I went, I was about to go on it. And then I don't know why, but I wound up not riding it. 2017, when I went, it was closed. 2021, when I went, I believe it was closed. And I didn't get on it until 2022. And then as for the one I didn't get to ride, it is Zoomerang at Lake Compounce. Both the times I've been there, it has been closed with no sign of being open, unfortunately. But I typically have pretty good luck. There's really only 2 parks that come to mind that I kind of got screwed over at. That was Six Flags Over Texas and Six Flags Magic Mountain. Magic Mountain, I missed quite a few because they decided to have like only half the major coasters open in the middle of the summer. And over Texas, it was a bit of a rough day between the weather and the fact that it was the COVID year, so we had a hard time there. And I also missed Great White at SeaWorld San Antonio because they decided out of nowhere they were only opening it on weekends. And we were there on a Friday, but they didn't consider Friday a weekend. So, oh well.
Did you ride Accelerator, or am I making that up?
No.
No, you didn't? Okay, so you missed that as well.
And Montezuma was in
And
pieces.
Montezuma, yes.
Was your favorite ride at Great Adventure? Of course, El Toro. Although I think Chris has a different answer than us.
Yeah, Medusa.
I got your Medusa.
I get it. It's a fun ride.
And he's gone.
Maybe Chris's phone
Oh, wow.
died.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll change the Green Lantern seats, the pipeline surf seats? I feel like we get this question every stream. It's
Oh
not
my
going to
God!
happen.
No.
The pipeline restraints and trains are not designed for a layout like Green Lantern at all. So it's not going to happen. Common question, but what is your favorite coaster in the world? For me, I kind of go back and forth on it a lot now. It's between Iron Gwazi and Velocicoaster. Ace?
You already know 1-2 punch, man. That's Iron Gwazi and Fury 325.
Sammy?
Velocicoaster for sure.
Jack?
Mine is Intimidator still, I think.
Or
Project.
All right, yes.
Project
305.
Colin's not making enough to say that name.
Favorite New Jersey coaster outside of Great Adventure?
Jason Pennypacker.
That's a good question. Probably Gale Force.
Yeah, probably same for me.
Well, that's just a slam dunk. Y'all all took my answer. Of course that's Gale Force. That's actually my favorite park.
Yeah.
On the
And for
Jersey
those
Shore.
of you that are going to jump in, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I was going to say, especially with the pending pirate ship being built by 2025. Oh my God, I'm excited about that park.
For those of you that are going to jump in the comments and say, what about Nickelodeon Universe? Sandy's is right behind Gale Force, in my opinion. And Shellraiser is way too rough to enjoy, unfortunately. And for me, I haven't ridden it in 4 years, but it is way too rough for me to enjoy. And Sammy, we didn't hear your answer.
Oh, it was Gale Force as well.
I thought you were going to say Shadow Stalker.
I was going to say, don't you dare say Shadow Stalker.
Unfortunately, not.
Yeah.
Close second with Gale Force, though. Close second.
Yeah, I mean, there was that time where you kept advertising it as the best operating wooden coaster in New Jersey.
Yes, it was. It was.
Yeah, it was the only.
It was the only.
For a little bit.
So was Black Stallion.
Oh, Bacon Chris is back.
I was going to... Oh, go ahead. Oh.
Bacon Chris, what's your favorite New Jersey coaster outside of Great Adventure?
Maybe the Great Nor'easter.
Okay.
Maurice Pier, because it reminds me of Raptor at Cedar Point.
Okay.
I was going to say that it's a rebuttal to your answer, Colin, with this. What is the name of that coaster? The Shellraiser. Being, you said the Shellraiser is rough, right?
Very.
See, the funny thing is that roughness doesn't get to me. I see it as intensity, and I'm one of the few, and like a whole bunch of people that can't take it. And I usually don't like intensity on a coaster, but yeah, that one is pretty good for me. I just like the elements on it.
I actually concur with Ace on this one. I do.
Thank you.
I don't think that it's that bad.
For me, if a coaster gives me a horrendous headache after I get off, it is way too rough. And that is what Shellraiser does to me.
That's what Shredder does to me, but not Shellraiser. Shellraiser's fine and Sandy's is fine.
Yeah,
so
Sandy's is tolerable. Sandy's is kind of like Fahrenheit.
So Colin, before I know you got to go to the next one, with the Shellraiser, with the Shellraiser, did that give you a headache on one time or like probably? Oh wow!
It only took one ride.
Jeez, wow! I understand that.
It destroyed me.
Jesus. Wow.
Next question. Besides theme parks, what other hobbies do you guys have? Let's start with Ace.
The other hobbies, obviously, this is slam dunk. Coin collecting. From the 1800s to now, all types of coins and, paper bills and even currency from different countries like Canada or Mexico or any other country.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that, Ace. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why you always see me looking at coins. If I do, like, pull them out of my pocket.
Do you have any cool coins that you could show us?
Oh yeah. Oh, I got tons of them. I have a sentimental favorite that my godfather gave me, who was also my uncle before he passed on for Christmas like 20 years ago. Indian head pennies dating back to 1895. And I have Weedy pennies. I have the silver World War II penny. I have Buffalo nickels. I have Liberty dimes. I have silver quarters that I luckily made change from. Like I pretty much got change, and I have like 2 or 3 of those. I have a bicentennial $50. I have a million bicentennial quarters. Obviously to pay tribute to our country. And I have a dollar piece. I have a couple of dollar pieces. The old silver dollar one, the Susan B. Anthony's dollar piece, and the new ones with the presidents on it. And of course, I collected all the state quarters between the 90s from the first state to the 50th, plus the territories, and I put it on a board. I'm going to take a picture one of these days and send you guys the whole board of quarters all filled
That's
in.
actually really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, it was nice
I never
actually.
knew that.
Yeah,
Yes.
somebody gave me that as a gift. Somebody
Send
gave
us-
me that as a gift and all that. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
Okay, Chris, how about you?
Yeah, Chris, what about you?
Yeah. Cooking, historic sites, movies, and even, impressions too. I have a lot of other hobbies.
Mm.
Sammy?
I do singing and acting a lot. I played a few instruments in my lifetime: drums, bass, guitar, piano. So pretty cool stuff.
I played
Okay.
drums. I also played guitar a bit, and I also did play the violin.
Oh, it's really cool.
What about you, Jack?
I do lighting design for theatrical and other entertainment stuff, so like concerts and that sort of stuff. So I just do a lot of that in my free time. Well, it's not really free time, it's work, but that's what I do.
Oh wow, look at that! Let me put Ace on the big screen here. That's cool.
Yeah,
That
Ace.
is really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, definitely.
Hey.
I forgot about it. I'm glad you reminded me about hobbies. Yeah, I love this stuff.
Your
Yeah,
state
that's
quarter collection.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. I could thank my friend's mother. God rest and bless my friend that passed on in 2014. His mom gave me the best gift ever. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Brian, what are some of your hobbies that are not coasters? Just
Yeah,
curious.
Brian, you should leave your hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mention mine yet. So obviously, coasters are one of the bigger ones. Of course, I'm very into music. I don't play any, but I listen to it a lot. I'm very into math and physics and all that because I do want to pursue an engineering path. A lot of stuff like engineering related, like road designs, really interests me. Into the park systems, not like just amusement parks, like natural parks and everything. There's a whole bunch of stuff really. But Tom got me into the Devils a bit. I'm not really a huge sports guy myself, though. Not really huge into video games anymore either. But a whole bunch of different things.
What's your favorite video game?
Who, me? I don't really play video games anymore, so I couldn't really tell you.
Oh, Chris, I can answer your question. I'm a huge Marvel fan, actually. You always hear me talk about Horsemen. I love X-Men. I would have to say Marvel versus Capcom. It's just a sweet game. One of the greatest games ever. I don't know if you other guys play video games. I know you said no,
I
Kyle.
said
What's your
Mario.
favorite?
Sam,
Hello,
you play?
it's a me.
Not really anymore. I kind of phased out of it.
Jack?
Video games? I don't really play video games anymore.
Okay.
Chris,
Yeah.
what about you?
What's your favorite video game, Chris?
Hello, it's a me, Mario. Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, which Mario game?
Probably Super Mario, the original Super Mario.
That's a
Okay.
good one.
I also didn't mention my list of
Mario
hobbies. I'm
World.
very into movies and TV shows as well.
Yeah, I'm also very into TV shows. I've been watching Ozark right now recently, which is a very good show.
I've just been going along with Curb Your Enthusiasm's final season, which has been airing.
I've also been watching that.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. It's just Larry David is such a great man, comedian. He's funny.
Definitely. Ace, what are your favorite movies and shows?
Comedy all day long, and then I love action and stuff about the country, like 13 Days, the Cuban Missile Crisis, anything with like history in it. I love all that. I love most movies, and then horror will be like pretty much after that. But those are the best movies: comedy, action, history, especially anything about the country.
Ace, did you see the Chernobyl show?
Not yet.
It's
It's
on
really
HBO.
good. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
good. Also, I see in the chat someone's talking about Severance. That's another very good show.
Did you see Oppenheimer?
Oh yeah,
Woo,
excellent.
Oppenheimer was great. He won. He cleaned up he cleaned up with the awards. They deserved it.
We're gonna move on now. Hot take: the Jersey Devil over El Toro. Now, all right. I will say this: if Jersey Devil was smoother, and if the second half ran faster, I could definitely understand that. But those two things are not the case. So I strongly disagree. But I can understand where you're coming from. Let's see. What is your favorite B&M model? That would be the Hyper / Giga, for sure.
I concur. Oh, sorry.
Bacon Chris, you said floorless.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of the floorless coasters personally.
the wing ones are good too. You know,
I do like wings. They're probably
Yeah.
wings and inverts are my two favorite looping models from them. And I like the old school dives a lot. I don't like the ones with the vest restraints though.
Yeah,
Man, I tell you. I wish we had a wing coaster of the likes of just, I don't even care if it ended up being like Thunderbird and Gatekeeper, just a wing, or even Wild Eagle at Dollywood. I love those.
Supposedly
But
we were supposed
obviously,
to get something similar to X Flight at Great America, and that wound up not happening.
yeah, that would have been nice. But I would have to say the Hyper, Giga model. Those are the best.
Do you think Cyborg is going to lose popularity because of the addition of Flash? I think the opposite is going to happen. I think Cyborg is going to gain popularity because a lot of people kind of see Cyborg as very easy to walk past and just ignore when they're going to Justice League or Wonder Woman. But Flash is going to be right on top of Cyborg. So I think it's definitely going to entice a lot more people to go check Cyborg out.
I mean,
Which of the three coasters has the best animation? I'm guessing you mean the Six Flags coasters. So it's Georgia Surfer, Bobcat, and Flash. I mean, they're all objectively just as good. I mean, of course, I have a preference towards Flash because that's the one I'm most excited for. But I think in terms of quality, they're all just as good. What differences do you think we will see with Six Flags and Cedar Fair merging? I think you're going to see the best aspects of both chains come to all the parks. Not super soon, but I think down the line, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. You're
And
definitely going to see it. Go ahead.
No, you were talking. Go for it.
You're going to definitely see it with the large. We cannot say it enough. You're going to see it with the larger parks, and we all know what those are with the new Six Flags chain. So obviously, starting with Great Adventure in Cedar Point, Kings Island, Magic Mountain, Great America, Canada's Wonderland, Carowinds, Kings Dominion, and I know obviously over Georgia, all the big ones. Yeah, they're going to see the marketed improvement.
And I think there'll be a little bit of like discomfort time, if you know what I mean, like for like a year or two, kind of like what we saw when we were transitioning from COVID to like the now Salim era. So like there's a little bit of like transition from we will like you want to see this, and then it kind of switched up a little bit. So now we're seeing more coasters. So I think there'll be a kind of a little bit of like you'll see a little variation in there with what they want, and it's gonna end up being really good, I think.
I think that we will see, assuming this all goes through, I don't think we'll really see any changes until opening day 2025 of any parks. Like, they're not going to make any changes because they're going to need time to do so. I think the first main changes that are going to be made are, like, admissions-wise, probably just unifying it, streamlining the admissions process at the parks, that along those lines, and then after that they might start to implement like a shared like I think that probably Cedar Fair's fast lane with the new readers and all that new technology they're rolling out will probably end up going to the Six Flags parks, just because it's like much more advanced than the phone flash pass that they're using at Six Flags. And then I think same thing with dining plans. We'll see something come that's streamlined between them. Maybe they'll implement the speedy parking at Cedar Fair parks, and other things like that. But I think we're not going to see anything till 2025, and then the big changes will come 2026 if we see any retheming or big, large improvements.
Definitely.
Yeah, and
add a 0G roll to El Toro's layout. I don't think
That's
it needs that.
no.
That's only if they put on RMCing it, but that's impossible.
Yeah, I don't think it needs a 0G roll. I mean, maybe in the floater section, just to spice it up a little bit, something like the arcade roll on Airy Force, but I don't think it really needs it.
Yeah, I
El
think
Toro's running awesome this year. Doesn't need anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the future of Great Adventure? I think it's incredibly bright. I mean, they're getting a ton of investment for 2024, and I think that's just going to continue. And I think this new rebranding of the park being a resort is definitely going to carry forward with more investment going forward. I think they really want to set Great Adventure up to be a true destination, and they're taking the steps necessary to do that. Of course, it's definitely not there yet. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. But with the right amount of money invested, the right amount of time taken, I think it will eventually become a proper resort.
Yeah, it's in great hands.
Why do you think enthusiasts whine about a rattle on certain B&Ms, most notably Goliath and Over Georgia? I wouldn't say whine. I think it's a valid complaint. Rattles on rides can very easily cause discomfort to riders, and I feel it a lot too. I mean, if I ride a certain ride too many times that has a rattle or has a certain roughness to it, I will get a headache, and it kind of ruins your day. Like, I think back all the time when I hear about this to when my dad and I first visited Dollywood back in 2019, and we rode Mystery Mine. And after we got off Mystery Mine, my dad had what he says was one of the worst headaches he ever had. And thank God they sell what they call Goodies headache powder down there that wound up curing him pretty much instantly. But rides like that cause such discomfort to give you a headache and make your day terrible, I think it's definitely a valid complaint. And parks definitely should do the preventative maintenance required to make sure that rattles don't get to the point of discomfort. That's why, like certain rides like Shellraiser, I can't even ride because instant headache. So I think it's definitely a valid complaint when people complain or, as you say, whine about a rattle. A lot of times it's definitely justified. How do each of you feel to have Great Adventure as your home park on a scale of 0 to 10? Well, I'm going to say 1 to 10. I say a 10. I think Great Adventure is probably the best home park to have. Period. I can't think of any other park I would rather have as my home park. I'll share my opinions a little more detailed in a minute, but I want to let everyone else share.
Bacon Chris?
Right park, 10 out of 10.
Ace?
I can't ridiculously say 11, but I will say 10 plus easily.
Jack?
I'd say 10. Like I just feel like at times, we go to Great Adventure and see like the little flaws, but then really it's like a pretty amazing park to have as a home park, and there's so many amazing rides. They have so many rides. And yeah, I think honestly I have a lot of things I don't like about a lot of the parks that I go to, even the ones that I think are better parks than Great Adventure, like, or have better coasters. I wouldn't want to have them as my home park because like the ones that are arguably better are like extremely crowded like all the time. Like I wouldn't want Universal as my home park because
Exactly.
it would be like I love going there, but I don't want to have that be the place I go every week. I think Great Adventure is the perfect balance.
Sammy?
I I mean, I think it's awesome. I think we have one of the best 1-2 punches in the whole world with El Toro and Ka. It's something you're not going to find at every park. Like, imagine having like Michigan's Adventure as your home park, and like you're a coaster enthusiast. Like going to every other park is going to like end up putting it to shame because like they have all these bigger coasters. Having Great Adventure is like a perfect mix because you have the e-ticket attractions and then you have some lower tier ones for families, and it's a perfect balance for to kind of set you up for other parks.
See, the way I feel about all this is that Great Adventure is the best park in the country to have as a home park because not only does it have the quality of a lot of other parks of this scale, but you can go to the park pretty much all the time and you're not going to have an unpleasant experience. It can get crowded, but it's never always crowded. The way like a park like Hersheypark or Kings Island or Canada's Wonderland or even Cedar Point, they are always crowded. It is very rare to go to those parks and not have a crowded day. Great Adventure, if you play your cards right, it is very easy to be able to ride the ride you want to ride instantly, not have to wait. And that's what I think is the best thing about Great Adventure. And on top of that, their big four are some of the best, like top four coasters out of any park out there. And you got Toro, Devil, Nitro, and Ka. All rides you can marathon very easily. And because of the crowds and operations at Great Adventure, you can. And the operations is a whole other thing. No other park in the country other than Disney and Universal compares to Great Adventure's operations, in my opinion. They are such a level above all other parks where you're not going to see stacking at a park like Great Adventure. It's very rare. Meanwhile, you go to any other park and stacking is to be expected. So for everyone that bashes Great Adventure and gives them crap, I think you should really take a look around at other parks and imagine what it would be like to have them as a home park. Because I know from other people who have moved that used to have Great Adventure as a home park, say they miss having Great Adventure as a home park. There's always something new to do. There's always a great selection of rides to choose from. And overall, I mean, to me, it's easily the best home park to have in the country.
And yeah, you know, we said this last year too, when we of course obviously lost the old school safari, reverting back to pre 2020. You can't forget about the safari, which really made it me rethink that it is the best park. It is my favorite park outside of the other ones around the world. And we have unlimited potential when you look at it too, because we're just tapping into that now with the Savannah Sunset and also the expansion that we're going to have in the next 10 years. So this is just a taste of the future going, with this 50th anniversary year, which is really exciting.
Absolutely. Next up, do you think Great Adventure will make a new arboretum? Yes, they are.
Yes.
It's already on the park map. It's called Park 6. It's going to be located adjacent to Flash Vertical Velocity. How do you feel about the new designated meetup for Looney Tunes characters? I think it's a great idea because honestly, I've never been a huge fan of having characters meet right in front of the fountain. I think it's kind of not the best spot because it's a very high trafficked area and you get a lot of people like queuing up to wait to have a picture taken, and it kind of interrupts the flow of the traffic on the path. Meanwhile, when you have them in their own designated building, you can run the queue for that along a separate area that's not going to block foot traffic, and you keep the whole fountain area clean. And I also really like that they have characters just walking around at Dream Street. I think that is one of the best things they've ever done. Seriously feels like something taken out of like a Disney playbook where they just have characters roaming the main, like really iconic area. Such a good idea there.
Yeah, it's actually very iconic, the fountain there.
Definitely. Skyrush was incredible this weekend. Love the new upgrades. Absolutely agree. I think the station upgrades are probably my favorite part of it. Of course, the restraints make a huge difference, but what they did in the station really elevates it to the next level.
Yeah, that was a great surprise. I was not anticipating that. To be quite honest, I was flabbergasted with the paint job because that's the first thing I noticed was looking on the ground, and then I looked up. I was like, "Oh my god!" And you noticed it too, Colin. I was like, "Wow, this is incredible." It's damn near immaculate. I have to say.
Next up, when getting a locker at a park, how many times have each of you forgotten your locker number? Well, I know Ace definitely has a tally there for that accomplishment and the music park.
Yeah, you got that video. After that
you guys
video
will
and
know
all that,
exactly
oh my
what we're
God.
talking about tomorrow when the vlog releases. But Ace, you want to give him a synopsis?
I don't remember it numerous times, because what happens is that that becomes the bane of problems when you're rushing like we were after our final ride on Wildcat, and then we want to get our final night ride on Sky Rush, and we were already like had high anxiety, and only like 20 minutes to get there. So obviously that just turned that into a cluster bubble.
Tomorrow's vlog is gonna be awesome. There are so many funny things
There's
in
a lot
there.
of really good stuff in there.
Like that I think so far, I know like there hasn't been that many vlogs this year. I think that one's gonna take the cake this year so far.
Wait till you guys see what I did with the whole Sky Rush thing. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. And of course, Ace's locker debacle. But for those of you unaware, Wildcat has the double-sided lockers, and you have to remember both your combo and your locker number. So there's 4 different sections of lockers. So you have to remember which section it was in. So it would be 01 or 02 or whatever it is. And then you have to remember the actual locker number. So say it's like 33 or 21, whatever it is. You have to remember that and your combo. So it is a lot to remember, honestly, especially when you're going on the ride. You're getting your brain scrambled by the crazy
Exactly.
You have to memorize that. I won't lie. It's definitely difficult. I think because I noticed the employees at the locker, they were helping another group who forgot their locker number. They can go in and see each individual locker and which what the combo is for each locker. So if you remember your combo, they can look and see which locker has that combo and then unlock it for you. But I think they should have a better system where they can just search the locker combo and then it shows what locker number that is. I think that would be better just on the side of the Hershey employees. But yeah, it is very easy to forget your locker number, especially when you're not given a receipt like at Great Adventure.
And then when you're running around, like y'all had me, because y'all got me, y'all surprised me with the Sky Rush as the last ride at night. I don't blame you guys with the new theming on it, and that right there had it like. And then they took forever for us to get on our final Wildcat ride, which was just ridiculous. 10 minutes easily with the stupidity, the nonsense that happened at the station. You know what I'm talking about, Colin and Sammy.
Definitely. Six Flags New England versus Six Flags over Georgia. This is a really good matchup because I think they're very evenly matched parks. They both have really good 1-2 punches. One definitely better than the other, but where that one park has the better 1-2 punch, the other park has a much better lineup outside of that. So, Ace, you've been to both. What are your takes?
Well, Six Flags New England is a home park to me, and I'm gonna be impartial on this one. So I'm gonna have to go with the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is gonna be that Six Flags over Georgia has more, and it counts as one of the largest Six Flags. So obviously Six Flags over Georgia, and they have the best Superman out of the 3 that we have in our chain, and a great wooden coaster and a Great American, just newly retracted 22, the Great American Screen Machine. So that would be Six Flags over Georgia.
I'm going to agree with Ace. I think New England, like I said, they have the better 1-2 punch with Wicked Cyclone and Superman.
Yes.
But outside of those 2 rides, honestly, the ride lineup isn't great at New England. It's kind of on par with like St. Louis, maybe even worse. Meanwhile, over Georgia, you got Goliath, which is, in my opinion, the best B&M hyper. You got Twisted Cyclone, solid RMC. And then from there, you have a bunch of really good rides too. You got Daredevil, you got Batman, you got Mindbender, Great American Scream Machine, Blue Hawk, Superman, like a lot of really good rides. So I think overall, over Georgia is definitely the better park. And it's a much nicer looking park too. New England has its nice areas, like that whole area down by Superman, but I think overall, over Georgia is a nicer looking park.
I think the park look like, but I never got to visit the park. But I think over Georgia looks more fun.
And also the Daluga Mine Train too. I'm sure you've been on it, Colin.
Yes, I have.
That's one of the better mine trains. It's underrated.
Absolutely. So yeah, I definitely think over Georgia is the better park. Next up, Saturday, I noticed that Kingda Ka and Zumanjaro were dueling. Yes, they duel pretty frequently. I actually did catch a duel on, I guess that was Saturday when we were there. Yeah. But yeah, it really just all depends on the dispatch intervals and when the operators dispatch Ka or Zumanjaro. They can occasionally sync up. Which do you like better, Sony Pictures Animation or Illumination? I'm guessing Chris probably has an opinion on this.
Illumination!
Sounds like he says Illumination. Personally, I don't really have a preference. I'm not really into those movies personally.
Sony did Spider-Verse though.
I think Sony wins.
Yeah, Sony Pictures did do Spider-Verse. So.
They also did the Hotel Transylvania movies too, didn't they?
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know why,
they are good.
but I remember them doing them.
Those were pretty
Yeah.
good.
And Illumination this year is having Despicable Me 4.
I've never been a big fan of that franchise, so personally, I'll go with Sony.
The minions make me laugh. They just speak gibberish and they just go crazy for bananas.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy. Next up, is Hersheypark now the best park in the country? There's definitely an argument to be made for that. I think they're definitely in the top 5 for sure. I think in terms of coaster collections, they have the most well-rounded coaster collection out there. But I still think Kings Island is probably superior park. Cedar Point might have them beat just based off the quantity and quality combination, but Hershey is one of the best out there.
They're getting pretty close.
Definitely. Comet at Hersheypark now sucks because they changed the lap bars. Now there's no airtime, and there was little airtime as it is. Didn't get to ride it. I've never been like a huge fan of Comet. I've always thought it was fun, but not like this amazing ride like a lot of people made it out to be. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the PTC restraints that are on there now. I'm not a huge fan of them on other rides. So I could definitely understand that, but I highly doubt it's ruined or it sucks now. I'm sure it's still enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm the same. I concur with that. That's why it was so easy for us not to ride it on opening day. But if you do ride it, you're riding it for nostalgic purposes.
I mean, once they did Thunderhawk and Dorney, you knew it was going to happen. So it was just kind of like an enjoy it while it lasts kind of thing. But definitely not up to code now, those buzz bars. So this makes more sense.
Yeah. I'm wondering how long Phoenix will last.
Hopefully forever.
Yeah.
It operates in its own bubble.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. You know, they have the secret seat belts to pull out during inspection days.
That's funny.
They actually do, I think. I read somewhere.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
What are everyone's thoughts of Lightning Rod's fast chain lift? All right. So this is the way I've been looking at Lightning Rod. I have 3 different ways I will rank Lightning Rod now with this change. The first is when I first rode it in 2019, and the day I happened to ride it in 2019, you can see from the footage, it was launching faster than normal, like the same speed as it did in opening year. So you were getting ejector airtime over the top. So that is my number 1 coaster of all time. I don't think any coaster has reached what Lightning Rod in 2019 did. It was unbelievable. Then there's Lightning Rod that I rode in 2022. This was after they retracked a good half of the ride with iBox track, and the launch was slowed down a little bit. The launch really makes the ride because it's just such an adrenaline rush, even if you don't still get that pop over the top. But it was still a good ride. A little worse than what it was back when I first rode it, but still an excellent ride. And now there's Lightning Rod with the chain lift. And the chain lift is definitely fast. It's probably around the same speed as like Jersey Devil's chain lift. And Jersey Devil's a pretty quick lift hill. But Lightning Rod without the launch, to me, is not Lightning Rod. That was what made the ride so unique and so fun. And I don't think it's the same with the lift hill. I'm sure the rest of the layout's fine, but the launch really made it. So the launch not being there anymore, it's definitely upsetting.
Yeah. It is very upsetting.
What I've kind of figured out, if you go to one of the POVs on YouTube and then you kind of look towards the bottom of the screen, there's this settings thing, and then you click settings, playback speed 1.5, and it launches at the same speed. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, it's like, and it's eerie because it's not even been 10 years since, because I went to damn near opening day weekend in 2016, like a week after the soft opening, and it's not the same. You get that launch, the adrenaline rush, like, wow. As soon as you get launched, that's it. You know, instead of that freaking chain lift. I can't see Lightning Rod with the chain lift when I do go back in a few years. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate.
It's just such a huge loss. It's damn near a tragedy.
Let's see. Favorite general area at Great Adventure. Jack, what do you think?
I think that in terms of theming, I think the Golden Kingdom is like the most well themed area.
Yeah.
Sammy, what do you think?
A little biased here. Plaza del Carnaval. It's a very fun area.
Ace?
Wow. It's hard between what Sammy just said and the Golden Kingdom, but I would have to say the Golden Kingdom.
And Chris?
I would have to say the boardwalk because of the way it looks and the food they have and all the other stuff, the way it's designed.
Yeah.
The boardwalk is actually my least favorite area of the park, so
yeah, I would
strongly
agree.
disagree with you there. My favorite is the Golden Kingdom, but I think after Flash opens, it might become Metropolis because I imagine that little subset area that they're going to do by Flash is going to just improve Metropolis because Metropolis past the Metro Narrow Bridge is already really nice. But if Golden Kingdom looked the way it did back in 05 now, it would easily be the best. There'd be no contest. But Sammy does have to leave us for the night, unfortunately. Sammy, thank you for joining the stream. Want to do a last minute plug?
Built to thrill. You guys know me. It's good to see you guys, as always.
Yep.
Jack,
Likewise.
Ace, Chris,
Take care,
good to see
Sammy.
you. Good to see you.
Sammy,
Yep.
have a good night.
Good night.
El Toro, guys.
Yes.
So with that, I am going to put a line in the chat in approximately 1 minute where we will no longer be accepting questions because I'm looking ahead. We have a lot to get through. So I'm going to put that line in pretty soon to kind of start winding it down a little bit because it is a weekday. I mean, I'm on spring break, but I know not everybody is. So I don't want to have it running till like midnight or anything, but that'll be in there very soon.
Friday
Yeah, personally, Golden Kingdom is my current favorite, but I could see it becoming Metropolis. Next up, oops. What are your opinions on Hersheypark's next coaster? Ace, what do you think?
Right now, since Donnie got the dive that takes the dive out of the equation for Hershey, we're probably looking at a B&M wing near the likes of Candemonium, like right next to it.
Okay. Jack?
Next Hersheypark coaster. Well, I think the next ride at Hersheypark is going to be some sort of like flat ride where that theater is that they're demolishing. I've heard people throwing around like a screaming swing or some other types. But coaster wise, I don't know. There was rumors of a dive coaster a while ago, which I feel like could fit.
Chris, what do you think?
I don't know. Maybe another B&M family, maybe a B&M family coaster, a B&M Lodge family coaster, just like Penguin Track. I mean, they could go for some more family coasters. Oh, wait. I think they have enough, But, maybe
Right.
I want B&M more.
Okay. Well, personally, I've always thought it'd be really cool to see an RMC Raptor or T-Rex themed to Twizzlers. I think that would just be a perfect theme. And personally, I think their next coaster is going to be a B&M. I don't think it's going to be a dive coaster because of Iron Menace. And they already have Valraven just a few hours to the west. And then they have Yukon Striker to the north. So they're surrounded by dive coasters. They don't need one. I think a wing coaster would work great at Hersheypark.
Exactly.
They do a really good theming job with it, too. I imagine they'll probably theme it to candy. I think it'd be cool to see it go in Chocolate Town because there's a lot of unused real estate out there. So personally, I could see it being a wing coaster.
Makes perfect sense. Especially that would make it the most well-rounded lineup in the world. That even past more than Energylandia or any other park in our country.
All right, so we are going to start going through the questions a little quicker now. Talk about DC characters walking around the parks and Batman stunt show last time. Currently is a Supergirl at Magic Mountain. Think that means we'll see characters at Great Adventure soon? I don't. And the reason for that is because out in LA, there's a lot of people that are aspiring to be in Hollywood and be actors. So at Magic Mountain, being near LA, they're able to get a lot more actors like that much easier than out here in New Jersey, because there's not really a strong or high population of people that are aspiring to be actors or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I think they're definitely going to have an easier time out there versus here, because it's very different than just throwing someone in a Looney Tunes outfit. They have to fit the part and look the part, which I imagine also probably causes issues with equal employment opportunities and whatever those rules are, because you're technically being hired based off of your appearance for a role. But I imagine it works a little different for actors. But I don't think that means we're going to see them at Great Adventure, just because of the fact that out at Magic Mountain, there's a lot more actors in LA.
Sammy said that he's an actor. Maybe he can play some characters.
Yeah, maybe he can come play Batman or something. I mean, I have
No.
my Batman mask over there. I could go run around the park.
Batman. I'm Batman.
In
Where is
fact,
it?
actually, let me grab this.
Very good. Chris,
There
if you
we
could
go.
play any character, who would you be?
I don't know. I would probably play. I mean, Batman is good, but I think Elmo would be good because of the voice.
Oh, look, now Colin's just a mouth.
I don't think that's-
You wear
Oh,
mirror.
they- oh, Chris,
All right,
what about Affleck? Chris? Yeah, Affleck.
Affleck.
What
Yeah,
is the most GP ride at Great Adventure? Superman.
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
Superman.
That's at every park.
King the Car.
When do you think they will install all of the Dream Street bricks? I think by July 1st or July 4th, they will have them all in. That's my
Yeah.
guess.
Why
I
was
think,
what
I think they'll. I think they're gonna still be selling them though after that. Like the whole summer, they'll probably still sell
Oh,
them.
yeah, definitely. They're going to sell them until they fill it,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I mean, that's what Disney did for like those Leave a Legacy pillars or whatever, where you could get a little etch of yourself. They sold it for, it was supposed to last a year, and they ended up selling them for like 5 or 6 years, and then the statues sat there for 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hot take. Georgia Surfer is an upgraded version of Viper that spins and has water effects. It's nothing like Viper, though. You're talking
Which
about the one that
one?
was a Great Adventure. It's nothing like that one. And it's nothing like the one at Great America either. So,
Or
not
Magic
sure.
Mountain.
Or Magic Mountain. Yeah, I don't know about that one. What's the weakest launch you've heard of on a roller coaster? Well, the weakest one I've experienced, probably Copperhead, honestly.
Yeah.
Any one by Mach is kind of weak.
Yeah.
Some of the definitely Slinky Dog at Hollywood
Yeah, I would say
Studios.
if I'd ridden that, probably that.
Yeah, it's very weak. I think honestly, like Top Thrill 2 doesn't look like a very intense launch.
No.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
obviously haven't ridden it, but it doesn't
Yeah.
look intense.
Especially that first launch that's going to go up only 70 feet. That's the first thing I thought about when with weak
Yeah.
launches before you even
It's-
said it.
It's the entire length of Top Thrill Dragster's launch, and you're only gonna get up like a little bit. That's like you're crawling across the track.
I believe so. That's what makes the ride. It kind of takes away from the ride. If they didn't have that element, that ride would be so much better.
Yeah, just make a
I don't see the point in it.
world's fastest or world's shortest acceleration of a magnetic launch for it or something.
I just don't see it's a waste of time. You're taking out like about 10 seconds of precious time with that, especially with a low capacity ride the way it's going to be. Only 3 trains instead of 6.
Right. Do you think with the new repaint of Nitro, they will renovate the station like with Skyrush? I don't know. I think we'll be lucky to see the repaint soon, honestly. So as long as they just repaint the track and support.
Yeah, that's not happening.
They need a renovation because it looks all dusty and rusty. Rusty dusty.
Rusty Dusty. What kind of coaster do you think is next to come to Georgia? Well, the last 2 coasters they got were completely out of left field. So predicting the next one is probably going to be pretty tough. I honestly have no idea.
I think they're gonna transform Georgia Scorcher into a floorless?
I don't think so.
No,
Georgia Scorcher is very popular as it is.
they're gonna leave it as it's one of the best ones up there with Riddler's Revenge as the old school stand-up coasters. Listen, I can see them getting a launch. That's my guess. After, of course, this water coaster opens up this year.
Maybe a surf coaster would be better.
Maybe. I don't know if Six Flags would buy a surf coaster though. And they already have a stand-up.
Yeah, not for that park. That'd be redundant.
Well, they can replace the stand-up trains with the surf train.
No, they're too popular. The Georgia Scorcher is like one of the top hit. If you ever go there, you'll see how long the line is. So yeah, that's too popular for them to do that. That's not going to happen to that.
Moving on. Favorite spiel on a coaster? Honestly, it might be Skyrush's new spiel. Although I really do like the Dale Earnhardt "Start Your Engines" on I-305,
Okay.
which did keep this year for Project 305, which I'm happy to see. Though that'll be gone soon, so I'm gonna say Skyrush's, the new one on Skyrush.
Yeah.
What do we think Hersheypark could be getting in the recently demolished outdoor theater area plot of land by Great Bear? If it's not a ride, I'd say it'll probably just be like an expansion of the seating area over there. But it seems like the teasing they're doing is hinting that it will be a ride of some kind. So maybe it'd be like a tower attraction, like a Starflyer or something. There's not much room there, so I don't see it being something huge. A Scream and Swing would be really cool there, though, kind of on the hill. But I'm not 100% sure.
I think Starflyer would be good too.
Who's your favorite coaster enthusiast when it comes to breaking news? Coaster Hub on Instagram is really good at covering all sorts of news and rumors. So is Coaster Hour. On YouTube, it's not really as much. It's more so on Instagram. Skip past some of these.
I do like Colin's videos, gives news updates and stuff.
Colin, you got a fan in me when I'm watching WWE Raw and this at the same time. Well, I appreciate that. I know Monday night streams are not super common. I was going to do one yesterday, but I didn't want to interrupt any Easter plans or anything like that. So I figured I'd do it today since I am on spring break anyways. Do you think the Dark Knight coaster will leave the park before 2030? I don't think so, honestly.
No.
It's in fine structural condition right now, and
Yeah.
the park needs to hold on to whatever they have and preserve it
Mhm.
as opposed to getting rid of stuff. So I don't really see it leaving.
No, it's not leaving, especially since they got rid of Chiller before that. So no, we got rid of enough coasters.
Do you think Nitro should be rethemed to a DC IP if the park opts to retheme Movietown? Definitely not. Nitro is very clearly separate from Movietown, so I think retheming it to a DC character would make no sense. If anything, it should get a theme that fits more so in with the Pine Barrens.
Yeah.
Colin, did you see that video where Jeffrey Siebert asked you when you were coming back? Yes, I did, and I will actually pull it up for those of you who have no idea what they're talking about. But yes, Jeffrey Siebert did ask when my dad and I will be returning to Six Flags Fiesta Texas with Darius. So let's play it.
All right, Jeff, I think you have a special message. I do. Hey, Colin, how you feel? When are you guys coming out to Fiesta Texas? You know, hopefully see you soon. See you guys. All right,
Oh,
Jeff,
very nice.
What this is in reference to?
Pretty cool.
What month do you all think Flash will open? I'm going to say either June or July, leaning June currently.
July.
What about Bobcat at Great Escape? That will open on opening day. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't.
When is opening day for that park?
I believe it's May 18th.
Oh, that's good. I can go there during my time. That'd be great.
Colin, are you going to do a video for Great Adventure Tips Spring 2024? I am. I'm probably going to make that at some point this week and have it out. I don't know if you see, but the GP on social media, especially Facebook, are clowning the resort name change. The resort looks really nice, and the park is making great strides this year. Definitely, I have seen all the comments on Facebook, whether it's connoisseurs or just on the park social media itself, making fun of them for calling it a resort now. And I definitely think it's a bit of a preemptive name change. I think they need to work on making it an actual resort before they can market themselves as one. But I think the Great Adventure Resort branding, I'll take that any day over them just calling the park Six Flags, because at least it gives the park a better identity now instead of just calling it Six Flags, because now they call it Great Adventure Resort. How badly do you want a coaster at Great Adventure to become defunct? There's no coaster at Great Adventure I really want to become defunct.
No.
The only one I would like to see is Superman, but I know that will never happen. So no point in wishing for it.
No, we lost a lot. We lost enough coasters in the last 17 years, so we don't need to lose any. We need to just continually build, just like Magic Mountain did and Cedar Point and the other big players.
For those of you asking in the chat, yes, this is a Batman mask. This is the one that was featured in the most recent Great Adventure vlog. You can actually buy it at Great Adventure. With Stilt Walkers and Wile E. Coyote walking around Dream Street, what other things would you like to see entertainment-wise and in any certain area? Well, I like the direction they're already going in with having entertainment on Dream Street. I imagine there'll be some shows or some maybe even a parade, probably nighttime spectaculars too for the 50th anniversary. I'm not really much of an entertainment person, so I'm not really like equipped to judge or make predictions on that, but I do think that we're going to see a lot of entertainment offerings for the 50th anniversary. What coaster at Great Adventure would you give up for a new Giga that could be better than Superman at New England? Get rid of our Superman. Put the station there.
Do that in a heartbeat.
Stretch around and come back. Yeah, right with that.
So where would it reach around? Would you take out the obviously Superman would do that, of course, but what would it reach around?
Over Green Lantern.
Yeah, that would be sweet. We'd have our Giga. Wow. You talk about a crazy three, a crazy big three that nobody in this world will ever be able to touch. Katoro and whatever that is.
Definitely.
Rolling Thunder Revenge.
Thoughts on the Intamin going to Tokyo Disney? That I was not expecting. Tokyo Disney is building a new Skull Mountain, and it's an Intamin.
Not Skull Mountain.
No, Space Mountain.
Oh my God, Space Mountain. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got Great Adventure on my mind. Yeah. New Space Mountain. So I'm curious how intense it's going to be. If it's like something like the Fast and Furious coaster at Universal Hollywood or Velocicoaster, that'd be insane. I don't think it's going to be like that, but it's cool to see an Intamin going to Disney.
I think it'll be like a Hagrid's level intensity.
I'd say so. I hope it lives up to like what Space Mountain is known for, especially like the one in Florida. That one's friggin' great. What would you say is your favorite park show that is not a nighttime spectacular? I got to be honest, I really don't watch shows at parks that aren't nighttime spectaculars, so I can't really say. I will give my favorite nighttime spectacular, and that is definitely the one at Fiesta, Texas. They've done a variety of different versions of it, but I saw the one in 2020. Easily the best fireworks display out of any park out there. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I mean, I work in a lot of theater, and I also don't really watch any of the shows at theme parks other than like the nighttime spectaculars. I mean, my favorite nighttime spectacular, honestly, probably I recently saw the new Luminous show at Epcot, which was really good. And then also Phantasmic at Hollywood Studios is one of my favorites. I guess if I had to pick a non-nighttime spectacular, I don't know. The shows at Great Adventure have been pretty fun, like Unleashed. Like not the recent Unleashed, but like 3 years ago, it was really good.
Flash over Jersey Devil? I don't know about that. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't want to overrate Flash before it's even built, though.
What?
If the park wanted to give Ka a makeover like Top Thrill 2, do you think they're making it taller or faster, adding another bunny hill? I think they would probably add a bunny hill, but I don't see them giving Ka a makeover anytime soon.
Yeah, no spike tower.
Did any of you go to Land of Make Believe as a kid? I did not.
Neither did I.
Nope.
I just went to Land of Make Believe a couple years ago. Oh yeah, for the first time.
Get those credits.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are everyone's opinions on Epic Universe's progress? That looks like it's going to be the Disney killer, in my opinion. Starfall Racing
absolutely.
looks like it could be the best coaster in Florida, too.
The
Yeah,
kill shot.
extra park, but I'm excited for Super Mario World.
Yeah, the
What a-
Donkey
what
Kong
a-
coaster is really cool.
Yeah, Nintendo World, and what is it? Nintendo Land or Nintendo World?
Super Nintendo World.
Super Nintendo World, and it's 700 acres.
I'm not sure
Wow.
about the exact
It's
size.
huge. It's huge. With a hotel inside of it.
If Great Adventure were to expand to make way for new coasters, what plot of land would you like to see them expand out at? I think it'd be cool to see them stretch across the lake. I don't know that would happen, but I think it'd be cool to see them go kind of behind the Northern Star Arena and work their way around that way. But I also would like to see them build a coaster inside of Congo Rapids' Roaring Rapids area. I think that'd be nice too. But otherwise, it's kind of hard for them to get across because that's also wetlands on the other side of the lake over there. So it's kind of tricky.
Yeah, I like that Northern Star Arena obviously as the first option, and then obviously the Roaring Rapids area too. So those are the two best areas right now because you got Flash being built.
All right, we're going to start moving a bit
okay,
faster because there's a lot of questions now that I'm looking ahead. Let's see. If you owned a theme park, what food and game food and game non-coaster / ride entertainment would you have? Food, I would just probably keep the same usual stuff. Games, I don't really care for at amusement parks. Non-coasters, my park would absolutely have a Scream and Swing, that KMG like skyscraper ride that's at St. Louis, as well as Flyers. For sure.
I agree with Colin.
Buffet.
What was that, Chris?
I would have a giant buffet, all you can eat, and then have like giant drop towers and more dark rides and based off of movies.
Nice.
I'd have first things first, new water like a water coaster, a giant Scream and Swing. Yeah, those would be the two.
How do you think the new Loch Ness Monster will run with the new track and trains? Probably very smooth.
Yep.
Let's see. What type of food stand would you like in the place of Chickies? I'm sure they'll put something kind of temporary there for now, but long term, I'd like to see like a major, almost Grand Pavilion style restaurant like what Cedar Point has. I think that'd be cool. But they definitely need something down there. It's everyone's favorite element out of any coaster at Great Adventure. Probably the drop and 2 camelback combo of El Toro. Launcher up there.
I think either of those are Cause Launch or two things you literally can't get anywhere else in the world.
I would have
sort of.
Mine is the Cobra Roll on Medusa.
That's probably one of my least favorite parts of Medusa, honestly.
I like the fire.
Yeah, Cause drop.
So you like the dive loop then, if you like the fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously Cause drop.
Cause drop.
Cause drop.
Yeah, right into the helix. I mean, right into the spiral and going down.
I think the launch is the best part on Ka.
Yeah, the launch is good, but I like that drop when you just, especially if you're in boost mode, just coming right down. It's just all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the back row. You get some good airtime. It's just like the drop because you're twisting doesn't feel like a big drop. Like
the trim kind of sucks up there too.
Yeah.
You said what, Colin?
The trim up there kind of hurts the drop a lot.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do got the trim, yeah. Yeah, Toro is pretty great. Obviously,
will Iron Menace be the best coaster in Pennsylvania? Definitely not.
No,
that's not a knock on Iron Menace, but you got Wildcat, Sky Rush, Steel Force, Phantom,
Pandemonium,
Wildcat
Flyer.
Best in PA.
Yes,
you
Wildcat is the best coaster in Pennsylvania,
and you also got Talon.
Yeah, so
Phoenix,
Um,
quite a bit.
let's
Oscar's
see.
Wacky Taxi.
Hollywood Studios watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's real stuff right there. Can I say? Gigas are the best B&M model, definitely.
Yep.
Although I will say this, there is only one Giga that is better than the best Hyper that I've ridden. Fury's the best B&M, but not far behind Fury is Goliath over Georgia, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Are you gonna go ride the new Fire in the Hole eventually? I'm not planning on going to Silver Dollar City this year. As of right now, I'd rather wait till they get a bit of a bigger edition. What ride should I ride as my next coaster? I have doing Boomerang and Viper at Darien Lake. So should I do Medusa or Jersey Devil? Probably Medusa. Medusa's a pretty good coaster to kind of get you used to inversions and, decent speeds. It's not super intense, but it's not forceless either. Then Jersey Devil, it's got a bit of a bite to it. Honestly, I think Jersey Devil might be a little rougher than El Toro at this point, in my opinion. Let's see. Let's skip that for now. Tower of Terror over Zumanjaro. I can understand that. They're very different rides. Very, very different rides.
Zumanjaro's high.
Very high.
Tower of Terror by a little bit.
Who's everyone's favorite Spider-Man actor / portrayal? God, I can never decide.
I like the first one, Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire is definitely like the popular answer. I mean, I think Tom Holland was a great portrayal, but this is the way I look at it. Tobey Maguire was the best Spider-Man portrayal. Or no. Tobey Maguire was the best Peter Parker portrayal. Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man portrayal, and Tom Holland was the best of both.
Did anybody see my Bacon Chris Adventures in New York video?
I might have.
I think I did, yeah.
I went to the same exact pizza place where Spider-Man got fired from his job at.
Oh, and Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. Favorite general area at any Six Flags parks that y'all have been to? Mine is Rockville at Fiesta, Texas. I do like the area by Tatsu at Magic Mountain. It's not my favorite out of everything though. It's definitely going to be an area at Fiesta, Texas. I really like Crack Axle Canyon there. And the whole area by Wonder Woman with the streets is really nice too. Yeah, I'd probably say that one. Batman the Ride all black color scheme or the new color scheme. I think it looked better all black.
Yeah, it did. The original Batman.
Batman at Magic Mountain with the original like gray color scheme looked better or looked cooler at least than it does now. And it also had a really good like theming setup when it was themed to Gotham City when it first opened. It was really well done from the pictures I've seen. Between King's Dominion and Busch Gardens Williamsburg 2025 editions rumors, which one will you go to ride first? Well, if Busch Gardens Williamsburg is getting that stupid family coaster, then King's Dominion all the way. The wing coaster, King's Dominion,
the wing coaster
actually looks really, really good.
Oh yeah,
it looks like it could be the best wing coaster in America.
And isn't it? It's going to be larger than Thunderbird at Holiday World.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I can imagine that.
And finally, what is the worst queue at Great Adventure? Probably Nitro.
Superman.
Yeah, Superman.
Is
Yeah,
long,
Superman,
but it looks fine. Nitros could definitely use some help, though.
What could they do? What could be the improvements for the queue?
I think it'd be nice if it was indoor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just brutal over there with no trees. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's brutal.
Actually, there is one more. I'll do this one. What food selection would you guys want to come to Great Adventure? This is a question more for you guys.
I think actually I'll let Chris go first. You're sort of the food expert.
Chris is the ultimate foodie. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, with food wise, there should be like a giant buffet, all you can eat, unlimited,
I think
and
you should
breakfast.
get a plate for your meal plan. You know, they give you a plate on the dining pass and you can just fill it up all day.
Yeah. And then I can give a couple
Wow.
to the homeless.
I think for food selection in terms of like an outside chain restaurant, if that were to come to Great Adventure, you know, we have Mama Flora's, so they have decent Italian food there, but and Fat Burger is okay. I think I would love to see like a good Mexican place come. Like I
Yes.
think there's like some okay like offerings in that variety, but like like if the park had like even like a Chipotle or something, and like I don't know, just something that's like you can get like 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 a soft quesadilla or burrito or something that's like good quality food. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I could do one better, and that's going to happen eventually. It's imminent. The Enriquez style at Kings Island. Bring that to Great Adventure because it's going to eventually happen that the food's going to get better, just like with the Cedar Fair Six Flags merger. You see, Jack, you know that the don't you think that the Mexican food is good in Cedar Fair?
Yeah,
That would be great to have at Kings Dominion, Cedar Point, Carowinds, and Kings Island's food. Yeah, that would be great to have at Great Adventure. Would you concur, Colin?
I would concur.
Oh, I love that food. It's filling too.
So,
Bacon.
with that
Okay.
being said, that is going to conclude the questions of the stream tonight. That is going to conclude the stream tonight. I want to thank everyone who's watched. I hope you enjoyed our discussions on Hershey's opening day, Great Adventure's opening day, and the ranking of the Great Adventure bathrooms, which will be posted as a stream highlight right after this stream. If you guys want to go ahead and plug your social medias real quick, we'll start with Chris, then go to Jack, then end with Ace. Go ahead, Chris.
Bacon Chris, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, all in the same name. And I'll see you in the next adventure.
Jack.
it says it right, I think there.
Yep. And Ace.
You can find me on Facebook, Ace Car.
With that, guys, if you guys enjoyed the stream, be sure to like, comment. Well, you don't have to comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the Hersheypark vlog, opening day vlog coming tomorrow. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, guys.